Hello and welcome to your Stretch and Soothe Full Body Reset Flow. My name is Noelle. I am so happy you're here today and that I can be the one who guides you. Today is going to be nice and slow, no rushing, staying nice and grounded, no chaturangas, no vinyasas. You should get a nice full body stretch. And so make yourself nice and comfortable. Maybe you bring a blanket so you can pad the knees at any point. I think you can do this whole flow with a blanket. Maybe you bring a couple yoga blocks so you can grab them nearby. But for the most part, you should be able to do this flow without any props, but they're nice to have. So grab what you might need, maybe have a sip of water, and we will begin in a Balasana child's pose. So bringing those knees together and then allowing your chest and belly to melt onto your thighs, head coming towards the yoga mat, closing your eyes or softening your gaze. If Balasana is not right for your body today, feel free to just find yourself in a comfortable seat where you can be comfortable and, like I said, soften your gaze and go inward. Let's take a nice deep inhalation in through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe rocking your hips side to side here. Maybe your forehead follows, getting a little forehead massage. Maybe you ask yourself how you're feeling today. No right or wrong, no judgment. Feel free to set an intention for your practice or to bring any offerings to your practice today. This time is for you. You're here. You showed up. You did the hardest part. Begin to deepen your breath. And settle in. Softening any tension in the face or the jaw, any clenching anywhere. And when you're ready, crawl those fingertips forward and open your knees wide as you bring your toes together and melt into an extended child's pose. Arms reaching forward, forward, forward. Stretching your fingers out wide, pressing into your knuckles and your fingertips. Maybe tapping into some gratitude. And then crawl your fingertips towards the left. Getting a nice, beautiful side body stretch in that right side. Maybe your right hand comes on top of your left hand. Big inhalation here. And then take it to the other side. So bringing your hands to the right side of your yoga mat. And then once again, bringing that left hand on top of the right if it feels good. Now breathing into your left side body. Come back to center. And then crawl your fingertips towards your knees and then come to find a comfortable seat. Maybe you sit up on a block or just come into a sukhasana. So find a seat that feels good. Maybe roll your shoulders back a few times. Do a couple half neck circles here. Maybe rotate through the wrists. And then when you're ready, drop your hands and then reach them all the way up towards the sky. Allow your gaze to follow. Nice buoyant inhale here. Then exhale. Float those fingertips all the way down back towards the earth. Nicely done. Inhale once again. Reaching those fingertips up and overhead. And then interlace your hands and bring them behind your head, opening into your heart space. So allowing those elbows to come out wide without flaring into the ribs too much. Take a look at the screen. So engaging the core slightly. So as we open our heart chest, we're not flaring the ribs too much. So inhale here. Exhale, bring your elbows together as you bring your chin in towards your chest. 2 more just like that. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, bring those elbows together. Chin towards your chest. Last one, inhale. Maybe find a soft smile. Then exhale, chin towards your chest, and then allowing your hands to stay behind your head here. No forcing or pushing, allowing gravity to do the work. Keeping this chin towards your chest. Maybe you shake your head a little bit no. Really opening into those neck muscles. You can stay here, or maybe you give yourself a little neck massage. So massaging like the trapezius muscle, the shoulders. Maybe you give yourself a little lymph massage going towards the ears, bringing it down through the neck. Little self-love massage. All right. And then bring your fingertips forward and come to find a tabletop position. And we're going to tap into some cat-cow. So drop the belly, shine your heart forward as you inhale, and then exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, drop the belly for your cat position, expression. Exhale, cow. You can feel free to do some organic movement here, maybe finding some hip circles, leaning a little forward, sending the hips back, opening into the body in a way that feels good. Feels good in your body today. Waking up the muscles. Maybe taking some little spinal waves. And then when you're ready, send your hips up and back, curl those toes under, and find your way into downward facing dog. Pedal it out here. Feet are reaching, well, your heels are reaching towards the earth. Spine nice and long. Ears in line with the shoulders. Deepening that breath, staying connected to your breath at all times. And then drop your heels towards the right, coming into a side body stretch once again. Maybe you bend into those knees. Taking a nice little twist here in our down dog. And then come back up through center on your toes, and then take your heels towards the left, finding that side body twisting stretch on the other side. Come back to center. Let's find a couple breaths in stillness in our downward dogs here. And then lower your knees, coming back into a tabletop position, spine nice and long, shoulders drawing away down from the ears, and then send that left foot back and coming into a runner's stretch. So maybe you take a couple pulses here. And then pivot on that back foot so you come on the knife edge of that left foot. Maybe your right leg swings out a little bit, coming into a kickstand. And then open that left arm up towards the sky. Gaze either coming to your left fingertips or they can be down towards the earth. Breathing here. On your next inhale, reach your left hand all the way up and overhead. And then the opportunity to bring your left hand behind your head and then swinging that left foot behind you even more, opening the heart chest, kind of finding this almost like wild thing variation here. A nice, beautiful opening. Then come back through center, finding your tabletop, and squeeze your left knee in towards your nose, curling into that spine. And then step your left foot to the outside edge of your left hand, finding your lizard. So maybe you come onto blocks here. Maybe you pad that right knee. Maybe you're just on your blanket already, melting and enjoying these stretches. Once you've collected your bearings, we're going to do some half split within the lizard. So you can kind of play with curling those back toes under or keeping them grounded, as well as when you come back, you can play with lifting that left foot or keeping your toes grounded. So we're going to take some seesaw motion here, maybe about 2 or 3 on your own, taking it nice and slow. Today's kind of all about like how slow can you go? Always breathing. And the next time you find yourself at the top of your mat in your lizard, plant your right palm and reach that left hand up and overhead into an easy twist. Maybe your left leg comes out a little further, coming into like a deeper hip flexor and groin stretch here. And then if you wish it, feel free to grab that right foot coming into a nice quad stretch all in the same here. All right, we're going to come into a little flow. So we're going to do this 3 rounds. So as we inhale, reach your left fingertips up towards the top of the mat, straightening that left leg, and then bending your elbow and kind of come to this half namaste position. And then as you bend that left knee, reach that left hand up into a rainbow shape, and then maybe grabbing that right foot. All right, 2 more just like that. Inhale, reach, straightening that front leg. And exhale, rainbow that hand all the way towards the back of your mat. Last one. Grabbing that right foot maybe, sinking those hips a little deeper. And then reach that left hand towards the top of the mat, straighten that left foot, plant your left palm now, pivot on your back foot, and open up to your triangle. So right hand is reaching towards the sky, your gaze can follow. Your left hand can absolutely come onto a block here. Or be on the floor, come to your ankle. And then reach that right hand towards the top of your yoga mat. Reach, 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 reach. And then plant your palms, heel toe that left foot in, and step it back to your downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale here. Then exhale as you crawl your fingertips towards your toes and come into a forward fold. So maybe you take your hands underneath your feet here to get a beautiful, juicy, rich wrist stretch. Or you can just ragdoll here, allowing the head to drop heavy. Maybe you shake your head loose, a little yes, a little no. Allowing your belly melting towards your thighs, taking as generous as a bend in your knee as you wish. Maybe you sway softly side to side. Staying gentle with yourself. You can even keep your eyes closed for this entire practice. And then slowly, slowly rise your way all the way up, reaching those fingertips up and overhead, maybe coming onto your tippy toes. Then exhale, melt it all the way back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, create some space. And then crawl your fingertips forward once again, coming into a downward facing dog. Lower your knees, finding that tabletop position once again, and we take that same little flow to the other side. So kick your right foot out this time, coming into that runner stretch, and maybe you find a few pulses here. Pivoting on that back foot, coming into this half Vashisthasana, reaching that right hand up towards the sky. Maybe you reach your right hand all the way up towards the top of your yoga mat, pressing away from the yoga mat, making sure we're not dropping into that left shoulder here. Staying here. Or maybe we take our right hand behind your head and draw that right foot behind us just a little bit more, finding this back bend, wild thing variation, this beautiful opening. Breathing nice and deep. And then come back to your tabletop position, bringing that left knee in towards your chest, squeeze, 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 and then plant it on the outside edge of your right hand. Come to find your lizard on the right side. So hands once again coming to blocks or staying on the earth. Find your lizard variation here. And then come to find those half split variations here. So sending the hips back, maybe curling those back toes under, maybe keeping those front toes on the earth or lifting them. Exploring the body. Next time you're at the top of your yoga mat, plant that left palm and reach your right hand up towards the sky for an easy twist. Maybe sinking into your hips a little deeper, maybe opening that right knee outwards a little bit more. And then reach your right hand towards the back of your yoga mat and see if you can grab that left foot coming into that quad stretch now on the other side. Take one more breath here. And now we flow. So dropping that foot, reaching that right hand up towards the top as you straighten that leg, coming into this half namaste hand. And then bending in that top knee, reaching that right hand to catch that left foot. Two more. So inhale as you reach forward, straightening that front leg. And then exhale as you reach up and over, maybe grabbing that back foot. Last one. Reaching, big opening, nice and soft, nice and gentle. And then the next time you straighten that top foot, plant your right palm, pivot on your back foot, and open to find your triangle, reaching that left hand up towards the sky. Gaze at the sky or on the ground. Once again, grabbing a block if you'd like one. And now reach your left fingertips towards the top of your mat, and this time crawl your fingertips towards the front of you, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So inhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, find space. Exhale, melt it all down. Maybe you find a couple soft sways here. Maybe you bend into the knees a little bit. Find your footing. And then crawl those fingertips in front of you once again and take them towards the left. So repeating what we did earlier in our child's pose, but now we're in our wide-legged forefold, reaching towards our left foot. Take a look at the screen at any point. One more breath here. Then exhale, crawl the fingertips towards the other side. So now we're going to bring our hands to the right side, coming into a left side body stretch. Now bring your hands through center in front of you. Inhale, take an undulation of the spine. So inhale as you straighten, and exhale as you melt it all the way down. Bringing your fingertips now back underneath your shoulders. Drop your left palm, reach your right hand up towards the sky. The option to take a bind by taking that right hand onto the inside of your left thigh. One more breath here. Then exhale, unravel, and take it to the other side. So plant that right palm, reach that left hand up towards the sky. Staying here, or once again, taking the bind by bringing your left hand to the inside of your right thigh. Exhale as you unravel, bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders, and then heel toe your feet, and come down into a malasana. So maybe you stay on your toes for a little bit here, opening into the hips, staying on the fingertips for support. And then an opportunity for some stillness. So maybe you sit on a yoga block, or bring a towel or blanket underneath your heels, closing your eyes or softening the gaze here, hands coming towards your heart. And if you're on a block, politely excuse it to the side. And we're going to bring all of our bums to the ground and come into a Baddha Konasana. So the outside edges of the feet come together, and we come into this diamond shape with the legs. Feel free to keep it as wide as you'd like. There's no forcing here today, or ever for that matter. And we're going to give ourselves a nice little foot massage. So getting into those arches. Maybe you even crack your toes. I won't do that to you guys today because I have some very cracky toes. But not worry about your stinky feet or anything, but giving the feet some love. And then when you're ready, bring that left heel in and take that right leg out long, coming into this Janu variation. So inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Then exhale, melt your belly over that right leg. Knee comes towards your nose. Inhale, find some length in the spine, and then exhale as you fold down. Slowly rise up, and then plant that left palm and reach your right hand up and overhead. And we're going to find a little flow here. I've done this a few times before in a couple other videos. So we're going to reach towards the back of our mat, and then come and find the side body stretch in our Janu by reaching that left hand up and over. So do this a few times. Connecting to your breath. There's no right or wrong here. Just make sure you're breathing. The next time you're in the side body on your left hand opportunity to take a wild thing by planting that left palm and reaching that right hand up and over behind you. Maybe you find a flow there once or twice. Maybe do one more little flow on your own, evening it out. And then we take it to the other side. So bring in your right heel and stick that left foot out long. Inhale, reach your fingertips up and overhead. And then exhale, melt it all done. Belly comes towards your thigh. Your nose comes towards your knee. Inhale, undulate, find some length. Then exhale, let it go. Couple rounds of breath here. Unravel. And now plant that right palm to your side and reach that left hand up over towards the top of your yoga mat. And then coming into that Janu side stretch, reaching that right hand up and over. So finding your little flow here, taking it nice and slow. Sometimes I call these like my octopus arms. Woo. And then if it feels good, maybe flowing into your wild thing by planting that right palm, reaching that left hand up and over behind you. And coming back into that Janu side stretch. So finding what feels good. Maybe do one or two more rounds, evening it out. And then we're gonna come into lie flat on our backs. So center yourself on your yoga mat. And then when you get there, bring your knees in towards your chest. Squeeze your legs, give yourself a nice little hug, rock side to side here. Opening up into that lower back, maybe getting a little tailbone massage. All right, and then squeeze your right knee in towards your chest, interlacing your fingers around it, and then send your left leg out long. Exhale, bring that right knee over towards the left and find a supine twist. Your right hand can be in goalpost or just nice and open depending on the space you have, and your gaze can be towards your right hand. Left hand can be on top of that right leg, on the right knee if that feels good. Closing your eyes, softening any tension in the face. One last breath here. Then come back through center, keeping that right knee bent in. Bring that right ankle on top of your left knee, and then come to find this figure 4 / like grounded pigeon here. So your left leg can either be straight or kind of like at this 90-degree angle. Make sure there's active energy in both your feet. Your hands are interlaced behind your left leg. If you're looking for a little bit more, you can bring your knees more in towards your chest, and then even kind of like very gently press into that right knee. So do a little bit of exploring here. Maybe you do some neural flossing with that left leg by inhaling, extending, pointing those toes, and then exhale as you point your toes towards you and come back into that 90-degree angle. And then let it all go, and we take it to the other side. So squeeze your left knee in towards your chest as you extend your right leg out long. And then bring that knee up and over towards the right, coming to find your supine twist on the other side. That left arm coming into a cactus or T shape, gazes towards the left, and your right hand can be on top of that left knee. Active energy even in that straightened leg here. Taking some nice buoyant deep breaths. One last breath here. And then come back through center, bringing that left ankle on top of your right knee now, coming in to find that figure four, interlacing your hands behind your right leg now. Maybe you straighten that right leg if that feels good, or you're just looking for a little bit more of active energy here right now. Maybe you play with that neural flossing. Maybe find stillness. Tucking your chin slightly to find a little bit more length in the spine, remembering that our neck is an extension of the spine. One more round of breath here. And then come out of your figure four, grab your big toes or the outside edges of your feet and come in to find a happy baby. So maybe sticking one leg out, rocking a little bit side to side, opening into the hips and the groin. Maybe you feel nice and comfortable in more of like a Baddha variation here. Finding any final movements here that your body is calling for. This is where we're going to end today. So take this opportunity to, like I said, find any final movements or just have some fun in your happy baby. And then when you're done, you can either pause the video here and take a nice, beautiful Shavasana. And if that's so, I'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining me. Otherwise, we're going to rock and roll our ways back into a comfortable seat. Maybe you do a couple rounds and massage your spine. Come into a mini plow pose. And then, like I said, coming in to find that comfortable seat. When you get there, let's inhale, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Then exhale, bring the hands through heart center, tucking the chin slightly, closing your eyes. Solidifying our practice here, allowing those nutrients to settle and digest. Maybe once again, giving thanks or tapping into some gratitude for our bodies and the time to be able to take care. So thank you so much for for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed that practice. Hopefully you feel nice and open and maybe a little softer than when you showed up. And feel free to come back to this one after maybe a long walk, a run, or a heavy workout, just when you need a nice little full body stretch, soothe, reset. And yeah, thank you again for being here, and I will see you again very soon. Have a great rest of your day.